joys of being in a completely new city for the first time is you get to experience everything with a fresh perspective. What might seem like an ordinary aspect of one's city life could be an incredibly fascinating moment to a foreigner, like me. So it's now been 2 weeks since I've been here in Paris, and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of what this city has to offer for photography. I think the anxiety of not being able to see everything I want to see is starting to kick in, but I think I need to just realize that I was never going to see all of Paris in just 1 month. It's more reason for me to come back here again, but in the meantime, I definitely want to experience some other parts of Paris that I haven't really seen yet. So I ended up walking north, away from the central touristy area, and decided to head along this canal, and I'm so glad that I did. The light was pretty crap, but that wasn't going to stop me from photographing this area. About the topic of light, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm growing more dependent on light to shoot. I don't want to be dependent on weather in order to, find joy in photography. I want to be excited to shoot no matter the weather conditions. Ironically, I was more excited to film video with this overcast weather. I just prefer to shoot in these types of lighting conditions. So maybe it's more so that I'm just increasingly becoming interested in filming the streets than me being less inspired about photography. Yeah, I think I like that better. I had a great time meeting up with Jonathan. He's a photographer and fellow creator based here in Paris. We've actually been following each other for some time, so it was really nice to finally meet in person. Meeting people you only know from the internet for the first time is honestly one of the coolest experiences. Maybe I'm just lucky, but every time I do meet someone, they're just as cool and as kind as I imagined them to be, if not cooler.
Brought more film.
So Jonathan had the idea that we photograph some of the markets happening around town, and it's one of his favorite things to do, and I can definitely see why. The markets here in Paris, they offer so much color and endless subject matter, and if the light is hitting just right, it can be a really good time.
Get anything?
I was looking for you. I thought he was going to try a hat. I'm gonna make it.
All right, so we are back in the Airbnb with my broken faucet. That was a pretty cool experience. You know, we have similar markets like that in Boston, but you really get a sense of the local flavor of Paris, I think, when you see something like that, because most of the people there at the market are locals. I'm really glad Jonathan brought me there. You know, I see why he shoots those types of markets all the time. There's a lot happening, I'll be honest. I sometimes struggle in those types of environments when there's just too much going on around me. You know, recently I find myself wanting to take more time to really frame up a shot, get the composition the way I like it, and it's really hard to do that in a really busy environment like that. You're just getting pushed around, and you just feel like you got to keep moving with the flow of people, which is kind of what I did with video more than photos. You know, it's not my first time in, you know, a hectic environment like that, but I'm starting to realize that I actually much prefer filming video in those types of environments. But personally, I thought it was a really cool experience just to, you know, first of all, to have, you know, Jonathan, who's a local French photographer, bring me to, you know, a place that he always likes to photograph. Or I don't know if that particular market was one of the places he likes to photograph, but bring me to, you know, the type of scene that he likes to photograph here in Paris. So I thought that was a really cool experience to have. Make sure to follow Jonathan on his Instagram and YouTube channel. He does have a YouTube channel. It's all in French though, so I wish I could understand when I watch, but any of you who do understand French, I'm sure you will enjoy his channel. And Jonathan, if you're watching this video, what's up, man? Thank you for bringing me to the markets. What I want to do now is take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, and that's Capture One. Capture One is what I use to edit all of my photos, and I find that when it comes to Fujifilm files, I get the most out of my Fujifilm files when I work in Capture One. Not only that, Capture One is one of the most interesting photo editing softwares because there's a lot of customization you can do in the workspace itself to really, you know, personalize it to an editing experience that works for you. All right, so I've got this image here that I really like, that I got the other day, and I want to do a little edit session with you all and quickly show you what my process is like when it comes to editing a photo in Capture One. The first thing I like to do is honestly just mess around with the exposure. As much as I try to get exposure right in camera, I don't always do that. In this case, it looks like I did a pretty good job, but I'm going to just play around and see, you know, what happens when I bring the exposure up. Sometimes there's details in a photo that I don't know about until I bring the exposure up that I might not, you know, see so clearly because it's lost in the shadows. So I'm just going to double click that and it's going to bring me right back to 0. A lot of you ask me if I shoot Fujifilm film simulations. I don't, because I don't shoot in JPEG, I shoot in RAW, and just because I like to edit all of my photos. But that doesn't mean I don't use film simulations. I do. In this case, I was shooting in Classic Chrome, still shooting in RAW though, but since Capture One is recognizing that I shot in the Classic Chrome simulation, it's automatically enabling it here in the basic characteristics. I'm going to do a quick crop first. I'm going to bring it in a bit where we have the top of this red and the bottom of this red signage filling the frame a bit. I think that just makes it just a bit more of a cleaner image. So I'm going to go into the curve here and I'm just going to raise the exposure a bit. I can do that by simply making a point in the middle and bringing this up. Then I'm going to go into the high dynamic range here and bring the highlights down. I'm going to see what happens. Honestly, sometimes when it comes to editing for me, it's moving sliders and seeing what happens because I can't really predict, you know, what the image is going to look like. I need to see it in order to know if I'm going to like it or not. So that's kind of the process when it comes to editing. It's just, you're pretty much experimenting when you're editing. So I like the exposure and the contrast right now. At this point, I'm going to get into color grading. So I'm going to first go into the reds and then I'm gonna bring the lightness down. And just by doing that, it really made the reds pop way more, and that's exactly what I wanted. At this point, I could be done, but I'm gonna do one more thing here. Actually, two more things. I'm gonna first add some bluish tint to the shadows, just to give more of that Ektachrome look, positive film look. A lot of positive film tends to have a purplish tint to the shadows. So just a slight push to the blues and the purples here is enough to create that positive film look. Last thing I'm gonna do here is add some film grain. And there we go. Final image complete. So that was today's editing session with Professor Westcott. Thank you to Capture One for sponsoring this video and for supporting me as an artist. If any of you are interested in checking out Capture One, they have a 30-day free trial, but I also have a discount for all of you that use the link in the description that will get you 20% off a new annual subscription for Capture One 23. A big thank you again to Capture One for sponsoring today's video. Morning. This is probably the worst A-roll background I've ever had in recent memory. It's the dishwasher. It's my birthday today. Doesn't really feel like it. This is 2 years in a row that I've leveled up in a different country that I've never been to before. Last year it was Istanbul that I turned 25. Today I'm 26. So I think what I'm going to do today is actually photograph one of the markets in Bastille. It's supposed to be a huge market there. Jonathan told me about it. So I'm going to check that out today and see what happens. It's supposed to be like 3 times the size of the market that I saw with Jonathan. So interested to see what's going on there. Can't all be food. I mean, that would be huge for a food market. I don't know. We'll go check it out. Now, I brought this mic. I was hesitant of bringing this mic. This is the mic I use back at home. That's usually on a C-stand, but it sounds so good compared to a lav mic. I decided to bring it, and I think it was worth bringing. I think so. It's only 8:30. I think I'm gonna find real coffee because I'm drinking instant coffee right now and it's terrible. But maybe get myself a nice birthday pastry. Nothing like starting the day with dessert. So we're gonna do that. This is actually turning into a birthday vlog. No,